Welcome to the video. My name's Steven. If you don't know who I am, I make this channel for entrepreneurs and like-minded individuals to grow themselves, to grow their brands, and become better people. In this video, we're going to be talking about productivity hacks and the secret to unlocking your productivity. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to set goals, how to take action on those goals, and then how to plan your day around those goals. And when I started taking these personal steps myself, I was able to skyrocket my productivity. And so I want to be able to help you with these same steps that I used. First thing I want to say, when you're being productive, it's about focus. And so in this video, if you really want to pay attention and get the most out of this video, get a pen and paper, start taking some notes. We're going to do some exercises and close out all your tabs, full screen this, put down your phone, really pay attention. And this will help you with productivity in the future. And I could just be saying that to like get views, but I'm not. I'm serious. Like if you want to click off it, you can. But I'm telling you that the best way to get results from this video is to write down what I'm talking about and pay attention. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this video. We're going to be using the blue marker today. So first thing I want to talk about is the downward spiral of unproductive behavior. Okay. And I always like to make this, point that habits come in twos. And so I believe that whenever you do one bad habit, other habits tend to follow. And so, your downward spiral looks a little something like this, where maybe up here we have procrastination, and then down towards the bottom, it's instant gratification, right? And you can replace these with any two words that you use to prevent yourself from doing stuff. So it could be procrastination and then doubt, or procrastination and fear, or the fear and doubt, and it goes in this downward spiral. And what ends up happening is that along the lines, you start attaching unproductive behaviors to this cycle. And the thing is, the more you go around this cycle, the more rapid and hardcore these bad habits are going to be. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation before, but I've definitely had times where I, just decided I was going to watch TV for an hour, and slowly but surely the rest of the day just turned into shit because I just couldn't get the things done that I said I was going to do. And so this is what we're trying to avoid here. And the only way to avoid this is by following the steps in this video that I'm going to outline. But I just wanted to draw this out to let you know that when you start, right, you start procrastinating, you slowly but surely start making your way around the circle. And after you make that first loop, you get faster and faster and faster. And you go into this downward spiral where you lose control over your business or your life. So the first thing I want to talk about is setting reachable goals. So say this is you and this is the future you. Okay. Now there's a time frame between those two moments, the you now and the person you want to become. Here's the problem, is that a lot of times we like to set goals for the future that we cannot obtain today, or that are not close to where we are now. And so what ends up happening is you're down here. I guess I should have drawn it in this diagram first. And the future you is up here. And you have this exponential line to climb to get to the future you. And so what happens is, if you set a goal, say your goal is to make $100,000 a month, right? And you have no proper systems in place, or don't know anyone that can help you, or you don't know how to help yourself with this problem. Okay, and you're currently, and that's another point too, you're currently making $1,000 a month. Okay, so to climb this, you're going to have to take this steep exponential curve. And if you're trying to get there in 6 months, well, this is nearly impossible, right? It is possible, but it's nearly impossible. And so say it's a 6 months time frame that you're trying to get there, and by month 5 you're right here. Okay, well, you're going to lose all of your motivation to get to the future you because you only have 1 month left, right? And I believe that motivation comes from deprivation. However, there's a point of giving up, and we're not trying to give up on our goals. That's the biggest thing here. And so you're not going to give up when you're closer to the top than when you're way at the bottom. I mean, just imagine if you were drowning, okay? That's a very morbid picture to depict, but say you were drowning. If you're at the bottom of the ocean and you're drowning, swimming to the top is like, you're not going to do it. But if you're close to the top, you're going to swim up for air. And so that's what we're trying to do here, is set goals that are tangible. Okay, and so that's the first thing I want you to understand from this video, is to set tangible goals. So instead of this being the process that you're going through, it looks a little bit more like this. And this is a 6-month time frame. And the best way that I like to say this is just 3x whatever you're doing now. So if your goal is to run 3 miles, or if you're running 1 mile, you should make your goal to run 3 miles. Not 10 miles, but 3. If you're making $1,000 a month, your goal should be to make $3,000 a month, not $30,000 a month. And I think there's this weird hustle culture that says you need to set goals that are way high above your standards, and you need to set goals that are impossible to reach because you'll never reach it, and that way it keeps you motivated. But if you're not getting to a point where you can actually look back and say, wow, I reached that destination I wanted to reach, and you had something tangible in your mind, then you're never going to get there. And as a marketing agency owner, I know how it is, because the biggest goal for the longest time has always been make 10K a month, make 10K a month. That was always the plan, right? As a marketing agency owner, or any online business owner, or I'd say any business owner really, the goal is to make 10K a month starting out. And so if you're not making any money in your business and you don't have any value to provide because you don't know enough yet, setting $10,000 a month is an unreasonable goal. But setting $200, $300, $1,000, $2,000 a month is a more tangible goal for yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is to understand that you have to set goals that are reachable. So right now, while you have a second, let's go ahead and set a tangible goal for ourselves, okay? Whatever that may be, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set a goal. So here's my goal. My goal is that I wanna lose 5 pounds in the next 60 days. And let me make it very clear, it's fat. So my goal is to lose 5 pounds of fat in the next 60 days. All right, that's manageable. If I said I wanted to lose 10 pounds of fat in the next 60 days, while that might still be an easy goal to reach, it will be harder to reach than 5. And if I get to the last week of the 60 days and I've only lost 7 pounds, or I've only lost 5 pounds, then I won't be motivated to lose that next 5 pounds, because it in turn realistically is impossible at that point unless I starve myself. So the next action step that we're going to take in this video is to ask yourself this question: what am I prone to being distracted by? What am I prone to being distracted by? Ask yourself that question. If you have to pause the video, take a second and just write down 3 or 4 things that you're prone to being distracted by. I'll go ahead and do it myself as well. All right, so I have my 4 things: my phone, YouTube, my dog, and chores. And so just to kind of explain these bottom 3, because everyone gets distracted by their phone, I'd say YouTube, I end up like playing music on YouTube. And so what ends up happening is I'll go click on it, but then I'll have to skip the ad. And so it like messes with my focus for a few minutes. My dog barks sometimes. And sometimes that can really affect my focus in the moment. And chores, like sometimes I'll just like make my bed randomly because I know I need to, but I'll just like make my bed in the middle of the workday, and it's something I should have done in the beginning. So the next step here is to figure out a percentage of distraction for each one of these things. Okay, so I'm going to write mine down first, and if you have to pause the video after I'm done, you can go ahead and take care of that. So these are my percentages of what distracts me, right? So I'd say 80% of the time it's my phone that's distracting. 10% of the time it's YouTube. 5% is my dog, and then another 5% is chores. And so I found the 80% that has distracted me. If you haven't paused the video, go ahead and do that. Write down yours if you need a second. But I'm going to keep going. 80% is my phone. Now, say for example, it was 60% my phone and 20% YouTube. Then YouTube and my phone would be 80% of my problem. But I will say that 80% of the time, it's my phone that causes my distraction. And so because I've found that 80% of the thing that distracts me the most, I then need to find out why. So I ask myself, why does this distract me? And again, I'd pause the video if you need a second to figure out why that thing is distracting to you. I'm going to go ahead and write down mine. Mine is comfort, right? I get comfort from it. I have a habit for hopping on my phone. It's just been a habit that's been ingrained in me my entire life. And the last one I would say is dopamine, right? It's easy. It's instant dopamine. So let's find ways to prevent this from happening. So easily, one thing I can do is put in another room. I can put my phone somewhere else. So I've eradicated my phone. The cue to hop on the phone is gone. Okay. I can also grayscale my cell phone to where it's black and white all the time, and that way it's not interesting and I don't get the dopamine hit. And those are the two that I can think of right now. But if you need to, take a second and think of all the things that you can do to prevent your phone from being a part of the problem. All right. And with that being said, think of time frames and actions that you can do during that time to prevent you from doing this stuff. So the commitment that I made to myself, and I want you to write down your commitment. So there's a commitment with this. And the commitment that I made was that my phone goes away all morning, no exceptions. And this actually ties into the next part of this, which we're going to go over here in just a second. But my commitment is that from 5 a.m. when I wake up and from 12 to 12, my phone is in a different room. Always. I will not use my phone. I don't care who needs my attention or what's going on. My phone goes somewhere else. And that's how it's going to go. Now, the next step, and I'm going to change colors here, is to set time boundaries. Okay, and this is what this commitment ties into just a little bit. Time boundaries. All right. You need to schedule your day and you need to have boundaries on that, on what you can and can't do, and what you will allow others to do and can't do. And so I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of my personal day, what I do throughout the day. But that's also going to lead into the rest of this time boundaries exercise. So first things first, from 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., whatever. I usually wake up somewhere around there, but I'll just say 5 a.m. just to be safe. 5 a.m. to 12 p.m., okay? This right here is my time, all right? No exceptions. And I get to spend that time however I want to under a certain criteria, right? And that criteria is work, learning, and thinking. Okay? These are the three things that I do during this time. Okay? And so not only am I setting a boundary with other people and boundaries for myself, but I'm also setting boundaries for objects, for my phone, because my phone is not allowed part of this time. It is not allowed to have a part of this time. Now, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. is my time as well. However, there are exceptions. I will allow meetings. I will take meetings, okay? And that is sales. Now, sometimes if I really have to, I'll take a meeting in the morning. But under rare occasions, and again, it does involve work, so that's my time, and I've made that exception. But someone can't just book a meeting with me at 10 in the morning and expect me to show up. If you want my time, if I feel that my time is valuable enough to hop on a call at 10 in the morning, then I will do that. If you're a friend of mine and you're watching this video, you know I don't answer the phone early in the morning. I don't. I will not answer the phone unless I deem it valuable enough. But it's not most of the time. I don't care who died. I don't care what happened. I don't care what song dropped. I don't care. Nothing. I don't care. And maybe that's me being selfish, but I don't care. All right. It takes time and effort to build a business. And that's what I'm doing. I do business. All right. I run a marketing agency. And so in order for me to do that, I need to work, learn, and think about how to improve my business. And I can't do that when I'm distracted in the mornings. So it's my time. And if you're a friend of mine and you can't accept that, then we just shouldn't be friends. And that's okay. That's how it works. And I'm not talking to anyone in particular, but I'm just saying in general, this is how you should be treating your time. Okay? If your friends cannot accept the fact that Friday night is your night for your Bible study and they want you to go out and drink, then you need to ditch those friends. Now, I have certain time that is also laid aside during the week too. Like today's Tuesday, and I actually do have a Bible study from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Tuesday morning. But that time is already set. I know what that time is for, okay? And I have boundaries like that throughout the week. There are certain times of the week where I have certain meetings scheduled and certain appointments and things like that, things I have to get to throughout the week. So this isn't just, you don't have to just do this for your day. You can do this for the week or the month as well. All right. So the exception is that it is work related. So work related, 5 p.m. Now, when I go to the gym, which I always go after work, so roughly about 5 p.m. to about 7 p.m. is my time. No exceptions. If you call me, wow, that was a gnarly burp or hiccup. If you call me while I'm at the gym and I don't answer, it's because this is my time. All right, this is my time, and I'm going to spend it at the gym accordingly. And if someone wants to have a conversation with me at the gym, it is my authority. I have authority over my life because I have set boundaries to tell that person to screw off because I'm working out. All right. Now, it's something I struggle with. Sometimes I'll get caught in conversations. Sometimes I want to have conversations. Sometimes I initiate the conversation. But for the most part, it's my time at the gym because I know that if I take a phone call, I'm going to get out of that mode and I'm going to procrastinate. This is why we're setting boundaries in the first place too, is because if 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. is your time and someone calls you and you know yourself, because I know myself, the reason why I don't accept calls in the morning is because I will procrastinate. If I get a call and I talk to them, I'll stop doing what I was doing. I'll lose my focus. So you know that you have to set these boundaries in order to improve your life and be more productive. And so that might hurt other people's feelings, but it's your life. And you don't have to listen to me, but this is what I do. And again, I would take some time to write down your boundaries. What are your boundaries throughout the day? All right, now 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is others' time. Specifically, the people I care about. All right. And so that's the next step in this time boundaries thing. So I hope you have your time boundary written down. But if you don't, again, take your time to write down what these boundaries are for you. But I want you to do an audit of your friends and the people you hang out with, your family members. Do an audit and think about who's important and who you're willing to spend time with. So I already did this before I made this video. So I had a list of about 4 people that I thought were most important and that if they asked for my time at this time of the day specifically, I will give it to them. So make that list of 3 or 4 people that are most important to you in priority order. You know who they are, right? You got a girlfriend, you got parents, you got close friends, and you have distant friends maybe. You have peers, you have coworkers, you have your boss, you have people that you go to church with. There's other people who are in your life, but if they called you and the other person called you at the same time, you would pick the other person 9 times out of 10. So write down that list of 3 or 4 people who you will accept to have your time more than others, right? All right, so now that you have that list of people, everyone else in your life does not matter as much, okay? They don't. And so for sure, if one of those people, like maybe if one of those 3 people called me during the day, depending on what's going on, maybe like in the 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., I might answer the phone, depending on what it is and how many times they call me. But there's some people that are no exceptions. I will not answer the phone for them. And so that is how you should be spending your time. And if people can't accept that, if people can't accept your boundaries, they shouldn't be your friends. If objects, because you have relationships with objects as well. If they cannot accept your boundaries, then you need to get rid of those objects, remove those objects from your life or from your area as much as possible. And that is why we started with this question up here, is because you need to be able to remove these from your time and your life so you can allocate it to what's important, your purpose and in your business or whatever it is you're working on. Now, here's another fun exercise with that. I want you to also write down all the people, or just make a mental note of all the people that you actually wouldn't consider that important in your life. This is a rough one. Make a commitment to yourself. These people that provoke bad habits, that are rude to you, or you don't really like, you're not really close friends with. Make a commitment to yourself that you will not allow those people to disrupt your boundaries. And if they do, then you are no longer friends. You've taken that person out of your life completely. So I hope you got all that down. I know this video is getting really long, but I have a lot to say about this. And I've actually never talked to, I don't think so. Like, I looked at my page really quickly. I don't think I've made a video on like productivity completely. Maybe I'm mistaken. And so this might run a little long, but this is so valuable, man. The next thing I want to go over is your margins. Margins are breathing room. And this helps you stay focused and not stressed out. You want to be you want to operate out of enlightenment. In order to operate out of enlightenment, you need to know your margins. You need to know how to gain more margin in your life. You need to know how to increase your limit and decrease your load. And so I'm going to write down the 5 areas of margin right now. So here are the 5 areas of margin. Emotions ties in with family, and mental ties in with church or God, right? Just to keep that in there for anyone who might be asking. But you have time, emotions, finances, mental, and health. And so what I want you to do is rate yourself from 1 to 10 of all these things that you have. Okay, rate yourself from 1 to 10 where you are. Also, just a quick side note, like, don't pick 7. You're going to pick 7, pick 6 or 8. I think 7 is just a BS way of coping. Pick any number but 7. Also, I just want to make this very clear too. 10 doesn't mean it's perfect, because you can never be perfect. Like, 10 is like, you're very confident in yourself and where you are, your abilities. All right. So what's important here is that you need to look at the margins that you don't have much of. So I don't have much of a margin. Okay. I have a little bit of a margin, but if something really bad happens financially, I can't take, like, I'll be in a hole. Okay. And so it's my job to then look and use my other margins, so time to fix my finances and health to fix my finances. Because if I have more health and I have more time, there's a better chance I can fix my finances. And so if you have a low number on here, for example, you're mental, but you have a high number in emotions, you can use your emotions to fix your mental. You can use other margins to create more margins with these margins. And it's important to have this breathing room, because you want to be in a position where you have the time to take care of stuff, and you have the emotions to handle, you have emotional control, which I actually just made a video on that, and I think it's my favorite video by far. So go check that out after this. Finances, you have the finances in case your car breaks down, you're able to pay for it. Really think about your margins and allocate time to creating margins out of your margins. I know I said margins like 50 times, but I hope that makes sense. So the next one is to celebrate. And I want to make this very clear. When I say celebrate, I think people get this confused. You don't have to take time off, and you don't have to go out and like get drunk. And that's a problem that I always had, is whenever I made a big turn in my business, or whenever I got some serious results, I would go out and like get drunk and do stupid shit, and I'd feel like crap afterwards. And so celebrating, you want to celebrate carefully. All right. And so what that means is taking small amount of time or money in order to make yourself feel good, get a dopamine hit for the thing that you did. So maybe you reach your weight goal, so you go out and get, a fatty meal where you spent $30 and that's it, is what it is. Or maybe you closed some big sales, or you made some big strides in your financial life. And so celebrate by spending, a little bit of money, not much. I wouldn't even recommend more than 5% of whatever you made. Okay, so if you made $100, do not spend more than $5. Seriously, I wouldn't recommend more than that. So 5% of what you made, 5% of the intake that you took. Even just take a second to smile and really just accept and embrace the fact that you reached that milestone. But don't take days off or weeks off or months off, especially in the early stages. because you hit a big milestone in your business, because that's going to screw you over when it's time to come back. So celebrate, but celebrate cautiously. I'm going to write carefully because I don't want to spell it wrong. So celebrate carefully. You want to celebrate very, very carefully. All right. The next step is to plan your day ahead of time. Every single day, at the end of the day, I plan my day. So I write out what I'm going to do hour by hour. Sometimes I even write it out like every 30-minute intervals. That way I know what I'm going to be doing. And so if you plan your day before the day starts, so after your workday is over and you plan your day, you just have to wake up and follow the plan. And so I think this is one of the most crucial things that you can do. So we've set the goal. We understand where your margins are. We understand your time boundaries. Now you plan your day inside of those time boundaries, attacking the margins that you need to create, whatever those are. And you have goals in place so that way you're ready to celebrate when the time comes, but not too big. You celebrate carefully. The next tip is to have half-life decisions. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there is a PDF download in the description. I'm going to grab my thing right now. Hold on. I totally meant to bring it over here when I was starting, but this is what, make sure you can see this. This is what it looks like. So I have just a timetable that I print off, and I write one every single day of what I'm going to do hour by hour, every single day, what's going on. And that has helped me significantly. And if you want that PDF, there will be a link in the description to download it and then print those off yourself or make a Google Doc or whatever. So hopefully that helps you out. But half-life decisions. So ask yourself, what decision can I make today that would affect me forever? And take a second to pause the video if you're writing this down. What decision can I make today that would affect my life forever? Am I going to wake up? Am I going to wake up at 9 in the morning? All right, if I'm going to wake up at 9 in the morning, let's make that decision and leave it there. More importantly, how about what time am I going to go to sleep? I'm going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock every single day on the dot. Half-life decision. What am I going to wear every day at work? Maybe you might want to switch the color shirts on the days or switch the pants on certain days. But you already know what you're wearing, so you don't have to think about it when you're setting up to get ready for work. What am I going to eat? If you have a particular diet schedule and you eat the same things all the time, you don't have to make a decision about what you're going to eat every day. Make half-life decisions. And my last tip, and I'm not going to write this down because I just want to vent about this. I've never been more productive than when I follow these steps and achieved goals that I had set for myself the day before and achieved it on the next day. I've never been more happy with myself when I have done the things that I said I was going to do. My motivation, I believe motivation is like a boulder, okay? And if you push on the boulder hard enough, it'll start rolling. And it'll only roll you so far until you push the boulder again. And if you get up every single day and you push that boulder as hard as you can, push it forward, and you do that every single day, you will be motivated to keep pushing that boulder because it'll become easier. It'll become more natural. And you'll feel better while doing it. And so if you wake up every day and do the things you say you're going to do, I promise you'll be more motivated than 99% of people. You'll be more productive. Let's look at it like this, right? Say you wake up 2 separate days. You wake up on day one or same day, 2 different scenarios. So you wake up on this side over here and you do 4 hours of deep work and you take a sales call and you close that sales call and then you do client work for 3 hours. Say at this point it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to be more motivated to push from 3 to 5 than having not done that stuff. But say you woke up and you checked your phone and you went on a dirty website and you did some drugs, you smoked some weed, and then you ate a fatty breakfast and then you sat down in front of your computer to work. The likelihood of you being productive that day, after knowing you already screwed up your morning, especially after planning your day and setting your margins and understanding your time boundaries, you're going to be less productive. So if you follow the steps in this video that I've laid out for you, you in turn will be more productive. And most importantly, man, just do, like act. Do the thing you said you were going to do. Have some personal integrity and do what you said you were going to do. And when you do that, you push the boulder forward and you can continue to push it along until it starts to roll pretty far. Thank you for watching. I know it was a very long video, but I hope that helped you out. And if it did, leave leave your tips or leave any results you have in the comments. I'd love to know. And also the PDF of the timetable is in the description as well. So you can check that out after this video. It's completely free. And hope you have a good day, man.